He's going to die to be able to open this thing up. It's going to require so much power and energy, it's going to kill him. You're my best friend. You were my very best friend. Like Yorda helping Eco into the boat at the end. Rip vitamin B12. B12 is my favorite Zelda companion. No, I shouldn't laugh about it. B12 is a wonderful character. And I was surprised how much I felt for this guy when I got to this part for the first time. It really reminded me of that scene in Eco where Yorda puts Eco in the boat and says thank you. Oh, it's such an amazing scene. This cat was revolutionary. He saved the world. He saved the robots. Yeah, this is the first time the sunlight has shone over the dead city in, I think, at least 1,000 years. There's some debate on how long the city has actually been walled off from the outside world, and the most convincing argument I heard dates the time of the apocalypse to around early 2000s, like 2003 or 2004, and the date of this game as like 3100. So it's been 1,100 years since the sun has shined. I wonder if they have artwork of what the outside would look like. I really like how I like how you have no idea what the outside world is like, and it's like such a complete mystery. Like you see the first level, it's completely overgrown, you know, but you don't see that much of it. But I really like how they don't explain and they don't elaborate on what the outside world looks like. Okay. All we gotta do is run and get out of here. Rest in power, B12. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. You have single-handedly saved the world, or saved humanity. Okay. Keep running, just keep running, just keep running. We did it. We made it. We made it. I love how there's nowhere the stairway is going to. It looks like it's just going into the clouds. Completely up to interpretation of what the outside world actually looks like. Oh, it feels good to feel the sun on you, doesn't it? Oh, I just tried to meow. I can't meow. He's a hero. He's a hero cat. Anything is possible. I swear to God, this is like 2 hours and 1 minute. I'm gonna fucking chuck this controller into the ocean. I am Speed. There it is, the platinum. All done. That was platinum number 87. Number 87. I never thought I would get to 87 platinums. I couldn't even imagine getting to 87 platinums. Hey, Sumo! Were you looking the whole time, Sumo? Were you in Catnito? Let's update the banner. Okay, y'all know what time it is. It's time we talk about this thing. I'm gonna do a little impromptu review. So I did write down a few notes for myself.
Fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy.
Haven't heard that voice clip in a while. Okay. I'm gonna refer to my notes. So when it comes to Stray as a game, I think this is a wonderful game. I think it's a very, very good game. I don't know if it's worth the $30 I paid for it, but it's very, very good. I said it earlier, I said it before, I'll say it again. It reminds me a lot of Eco. Thank you for the hydrate. That's it. Drink this whole thing. 34 ounces of water. I feel very hydrated. Anyway, if you've ever played Eco, it's very similar. It's a bit less minimalist than Eco. They do explain, like, the speed run. I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't reading anything. I was just skipping through everything so I could get through the game. In Eco, they don't explain almost anything about the setting, about the context, because it doesn't matter. The crux of the story of Eco is the relationship between Eco and Yorda, and just this desire to help people that you barely know, and they're just trying to get the hell out of the castle together. And Eco's a good person, so even though he barely knows Yorda, he's gonna like help her get out of there. And he kind of deep down knows the castle's a bad place for everyone to be in. The plot of this game is also pretty simple. Oh, there's localization directors. There's 4 Chinese localization directors, but there's only like 2 Korean and 1 Japanese. Anyway, the story of this game is very simple too. You're a cat, and you have fun with other cats. And while you're doing your cat things and you're having your cat funs, you fall and you end up in the underground of this like walled city. You basically fall into like a sewer, and miraculously you don't die, but now you're trapped in this city. And all you care about is just getting out of the city and going back and being with your cat friends and doing cat things with your cat days and all that. And in so doing, you unlock this city that's basically been locked for almost 1,000 years. But that's kind of like whatever, you know? Like, the cat doesn't care. The cat just wants to get out and feel the sun on its fur, you know? In the same way that Eco just wanted to get out of the castle, and as he's doing that, he ends up killing the queen and destroying the castle, and probably having a huge... Oh, that's it? Keep watching the credits. So I really liked that. That was really good. It was short but sweet. That's what I have written down. It's almost like a movie. It can be experienced in one night, and it gives a pretty satisfying experience. I don't know how long my time was, but my time was probably about an hour 40, hour 50 minutes, which is about the length of a movie, you know? It's not really long enough to be anything more than that. I'm feeling good about this plat. Me too. Let's talk about the ending. So, I said it before, I'll say it again. I didn't expect to feel so emotional over B12's death. So what you didn't see, because I was just rushing through everything, B12, the little robot with us, used to be a human. He somehow uploaded his consciousness into this robot. And this robot was basically asleep for hundreds of years. And when it finally woke up, the robot had forgotten that it was human. It wasn't until much later on that he remembered who he was, and he started remembering little bits and pieces about his past life. When it became clear that to unlock the city and open up to the outside world would require like a massive amount of energy, it was basically going to kill him. It was going to overload him and kill him. And I think there's a lot you could say about B12, because B12 is a human, but he's a human that's like trapped in a robot body, and it's a human that's not going to be susceptible to the ravages of like old age or disease. So in a way, it's a human that can like live forever. But it's abundantly clear.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
We got a platinum, Joshua. But yeah, it's abundantly clear. It's abundantly clear that there's like probably not any humans left, and that all there is the robots and maybe random cats. So B12 would be kind of alone in that world without really any humans to talk to or to, you know, have his companions. So I think B12 wasn't too choked up about having to die. I hate to say it like that. But he definitely died for a noble purpose. It was only a matter of time before the robots were destroyed by the Zoids. The Zoids would have eventually consumed everything, and the only life left on the planet would be the Zoids. So it's a very hopeful game. And a lot more going on than I thought it would be for the cat game. Like that's what I knew about this going in. It's like, oh, it's the cat game. We did it, Shocker, we did it. Thank you for the congratulations. So I love the mystery of this game. I love that there's a little bit of context given to the city and whatever happened to humanity, but it's not spelled out in black and white exactly what happened. I love how there's just enough mystery. It's similar to how the robots in the city would feel, because they don't know what the hell happened. Some of them probably weren't even alive when it happened. So there's just this aura of mystery that no one really knows what's going on or what's happening. And the robots are perfectly content to do the same things over and over and over and over. I gotta talk about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is wonderful. Like, my first time through, I was taking my time. I was kind of like observing all of the, the hub areas and the slums and Midtown and even the ant village. So I really liked the atmosphere of this game. It reminded me a lot of Blade Runner. It reminded me a lot of, like, a cyberpunk location. It was very cyberpunky. And I also loved how, they call it the Dead City, and there's no humans around. And the robots act like humans, but in a way that kind of doesn't make sense. Like, robots are able to be cold. Robots need lights to see, even though their heads are lights. It's almost like the robots are carrying on this pantomime of humanity, even though it doesn't really make logical sense. Like, robots don't need to eat, they don't need to drink, but they go to the bar and they somehow drink. It's almost like they were written as humans, and they just, like, at the last second said, oh, let's just make them robots, So that was always intriguing. They never really explained that. Well, I think they do. They say that they mimicked humans because humans are their ancestors. And they believe that they, like, are a continuation of human beings. And since human beings have to eat and drink and all this other stuff, they have to do it too. And it's like, okay, alright, whatever. I love how it's just not really explained, and how it's just weird enough that it could be true. If you're thinking about playing this game, pick it up. I don't know if it's worth $30. You could probably you'll probably beat it in a day or two, maybe even less than that. A first playthrough might run you 5 or 6 hours, but if you play games like me and you're trying to see everything in the game, it'll take you a bit longer than that, because there's a lot of unique assets and a lot of unique locations and some amazing atmosphere that you'll want to explore every part of every level. And there's not too many moments where you're being rushed along by enemies. There's a handful, but not too many. So for the most part, in the big hub areas like Midtown and the slums, you're free to just, like, look and see what all the robots are doing and talk to them and see what they have to say. It's a wonderful game to just take your time with on a first playthrough or even a 7th or 8th playthrough, because you'll always find something that you didn't notice before. Bottom line, it's a fun game, and you should pick it up. That's gonna be enough. I'm gonna stop the recording. All right, 50 minutes.